recent academic survey found that there was a fairly high level of frustration, particularly among non-executive directors, of their ability to influence the agenda and focus of the boards they participated in, and ultimately to give the potential of the value that they could bring into those boards. And that raises an interesting question. Who ultimately is responsible, able to change the practices of the board? If governance practices are going to make a significant difference, if governance practices do make a significant difference to the operation of the company, then tuning those governance practices should improve that operation. So are you in fact utilising best possible practice governance practices? Are you getting the greatest value possible out of your board? Are you doing the best job the board can do? If you believe that boards are effective in adding value to the company, then adding greater effectivity to the board can only have one logical result. So if there are opportunities to improve governance practices, how can those be brought to bear? Given the nature of the board, I think it is important that they get raised at board. Can we improve our practice? Should be a question. It should be a question for people, A, to be able to be canvassed on and to contribute to. But I think it is also a question where there is great value in getting external advice. Rather than operating in an insular environment where there is the tendency to stick with the way things have traditionally been done, in an environment where the future fiduciary question is of increasing importance. The question, are we appropriately invested in our own future? If the board is unable to grapple that question, if they do not have the visibility and the information at their fingertips to assure that outcome, to assure that the organisation is doing everything appropriate to secure its future, then there is need for governance change. And there is value in governance change. And I think it is something that should be on the board agenda to say, are we doing everything we could be? Are there practices that are emerging in the governance space that we could look at and consider adopting here? And I think it is the duty of every director to have a role in reflecting on the operation of their board and to be vocal about the potential and the pathways to improvement.